And we're live, everybody. Hello. Hello.
Oh, you're cutting in and out a bit, Will.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. Okay, well, let's begin. Today, it's very exciting news. FSD has been unlocked in Europe, kind of, just for demo drives and stuff. But we're also going to discuss the UK EV tax lockdown, as I've brilliantly called it on my thumbnail. So breaking news, ladies and gents, Tesla FSD test drives are now available in Europe and the Middle East, with this being shared this morning on X. Tesla Europe and Middle East. Come and experience FSD supervised on your local roads. Ride along in the passenger seat to experience how it handles real world and traffic and the most stressful parts of daily driving, making the roads safer for all. Available now in Italy, France, and Germany, and more importantly, more locations coming soon. So that's excellent news. The next thing to say is you probably would want to get in pretty quick to book yourself on a test drive. An FSD test drive. So if you head to the Tesla website in your country, see if it's available and book an FSD demo. But be warned, it's already fully booked in Germany within about 4 or 5 hours, I think. Wow. And unless more demos have been added, you might not be able to get one. But I don't know, Graham. I'm a bit suspicious. Do you think there's 200, Volkswagen executives that have just booked all the slots? Some oil and gas company quick, book them all out.
I don't know. Do you know what it is? Like, people might be going over to France and Germany for the Christmas markets, and then booking a test drive at the same time. I mean, what a result!
Brilliant idea, flipping heck. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, well, it's been crossing my mind today. I think I perhaps need to take a trip across there to have a go myself. But of course, this is demonstrating the tech directly to customers, which I think is an excellent way to get people accustomed to it. Because we know that the people who've got FSD or even got access to FSD are not necessarily pressing that button to buy it, either with subscription to it monthly or just buying it outright. So I think this is a great idea. So the ride-alongs have expanded to many cities now outside of North America for the first time, all in under 6 months. Versus years of delays waiting for FSD to come to everyone. So things seem to be moving really quickly. Just to touch on the regulations for Europe as well. So Article 39 under EU regulation, blah, 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 allows exemptions for innovative, unregulated autonomous driving features, enabling Tesla to comply with UN Regulation 171 standards while seeking approval for advanced capabilities like hands-off lane changes, targeting a February 2026 launch in the Netherlands. So that's going to be the first place, it looks like, in Europe to get supervised FSD. So have you got your plane ticket already?
Well, so when was that? 27th of February, was it?
Well, it's looking like it's going to be February launch in the Netherlands. So, that's not that far for us to drive.
Far. No.
Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah.
So this acceleration reflects Tesla's strategic push via Dutch regulator RDW, contrasting slow prior EU regulatory hurdles and sparking widespread community enthusiasm for safer, less stressful driving on local roads. So I'm just overexcited today because I woke up to this news and it's taken us all by surprise. And obviously the UK, at the height of regulatory approval for autonomous driving and stuff, it's not here though, is it, Graham? We don't have it available to us just yet. What do you think's going on there?
No, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hoping it'll be here soon. And of course, a lot of our laws kind of align with the EU anyway, so I don't see why not.
But we're independent now, aren't we, as well, from the EU? So we shouldn't be strangled by regulation. Yet we get ourselves. But
it's a big market, isn't it? The UK and the EU is 500 million people. It's a huge market to try and crack, and Tesla are kind of forging ahead with that. So really exciting. It's a huge market for them, I think this kind of event where they're inviting people for test drives, especially leading up to Christmas. I mean, wow, Yeah, and people are going to be out and about doing the shopping anyway. So I think it's perfect timing for it.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of people I'm pleased to see in my comment section for the video released first thing this morning when I quickly knocked that out. Loads of comments. People have booked their test drives already. They can't wait. Some have even managed to book 2 and they're taking their parents along and stuff. And so they're hopefully going to share the footage as soon as that's available too. But of course, we've already seen Tesla FSD demos released by Tesla themselves in Paris, London, Berlin, Madrid, Rome, Sydney. So, all these little puzzle pieces are coming together, aren't they? It's just we're waiting for it in the UK, obviously. But obviously it is going to come to us just as soon as possible. No doubt Tesla are doing everything they can to push the regulation in this country. So it is a huge step towards FSD supervised. Then it'll be FSD unsupervised, and then we've got robo-taxis and cybercabs to look forward to. I mean, if you're not good at dot to dots, it should be rather obvious by now that Tesla is undergoing disruption to the auto industry like we've never seen before. I mean, it's extraordinary.
I don't know of any other car manufacturer that's doing anything like this or anywhere near as close as this, other than Tesla. It's.
That's the wrong slide. Oh, I thought I was doing so well. Here we go. This one.
You're too excited.
There we go. I'm just going to play this while we're talking about. There's no other car manufacturer doing this at the moment, where vehicles are actually being produced and then they're driving themselves off the production line, and just fully autonomously and going to park themselves in individual areas. It's just insane to watch. I do wonder whether other car companies are paying attention to this yet, because they certainly weren't paying attention to Tesla back in 2012 when they were knocking out the Model S with an enormous amount of range and in loads of space and fitting that thing with cameras ready to take on the world of autonomous cars. Are they paying attention now? Is Volkswagen watching this and going, oh dear, our cars don't do this, do they?
No, I think a lot of them would be sitting up and paying attention to this, and maybe just stop for the Cybertruck, and then maybe
It's such a cool video, isn't it? Should we just watch this quiet? I know it's easily done when you're watching this. It's just phenomenal to think that this is available. This is my car right now. My car is sat in the driveway. This is the car. And it's capable of doing this. It's got the hardware ready to do it. It's extraordinary.
And earlier in the year they demonstrated that delivery, didn't they, to the guy that bought it and outside of his apartment block. And I think it was like a half an hour drive, wasn't it? Straight from the factory to the owner. It was insane. Yeah,
first fully autonomous delivery of a car ever.
Absolutely. I mean, just imagine, you go on your app, you order a Tesla, and then, lo and behold, half an hour later it arrives.
It's coming to you. It's absolutely insane. Right, I'll turn that video off, otherwise I'm just going to get lost in there watching the video. It's just so exciting, isn't it? But here's a thought that I had earlier as well, because I took my nephew to a test drive of a Tesla some time ago, where there was a Tesla demo car just parked at a hotel nearby. So we drove up in my car, and he scanned the little barcode on the side of the Tesla, and he got the app, and then the app told him what to do. It told him to get in the car and how to open the door handle, did everything for him, showing him on his phone screen. And then he got in, did his test drive, loved it. That's that. But now just thinking the next step ahead, like you can obviously, you'll be able to go to a Tesla showroom to have a demo of FSD and autonomous riding a car, but there's going to be a point where regulation allows the car to come to you. So a Tesla will just come outside your house, be parked there. You will know it's there by your app, and you can get in, and it'll take you for a demo test drive, like a demo Robotaxi.
Yeah,
that's also going to be coming.
That's insane, isn't it? Two different types of test drives there. You can drive the car, or you can be driven by the car. And just wow, really, it's just insane to think of. Like 20 years ago, I was watching sci-fi films like Minority Report, and you had these autonomous vehicles. I never thought in my lifetime I'd ever see that, but here we are.
I watched Demolition Man not so long ago with my son,
yeah.
and just as a reminder of the cars. Can you believe that car was a GM, by the way, a General Motors prototype that they made for that car? Yeah, it could have been. This could have been GM that we'd be obsessed with, Graham, if GM hadn't have bought all those EV ones and had them crushed in the scrapyard all that time ago.
I looked into those EV ones. I think they had they went through the first battery technology, and then another one. They developed another battery technology for it, and it's just a shame that they kind of stopped at that point, wasn't it? And like you said, GM could have been the world leader.
Yeah, I mean, at the time they were just lead batteries, so they didn't have incredible range. There was a few problems, but if you are interested in knowing more about that story, then Quentin Wilson, who tragically lost his life not so long ago, he did an incredible video, went across to California, I think, Silicon Valley, to try the EV1. Find that on YouTube. It's really, really great to watch. So, right, let's move on then to the next subject. After the excitement of discussing changing the world, saving millions of lives potentially in accidents, and making the future actually futuristic with autonomous cars, let's talk about reforming vehicle taxation, because that's very exciting, isn't it? So it's been in the news all week in the UK. I haven't jumped on it just yet because I saw so many people talking about it. I thought I'd wait a little bit and see exactly what's going on with this EVED, which is electric vehicle exercise duty. So just to get you up to speed, the UK government, as announced in the autumn budget 2025 by Chancellor Rachel Reeves on November 26th, plans to introduce a pay-per-mile road charge for electric vehicles starting in April 2028. So we've got a bit of time. Yeah, there's nothing to say that this thing's even going to be in place by then, is there, to be quite frank?
No, I think there's some real big technical challenges ahead for the government, because they don't even know how they're going to reconcile the mileage that people are going to input at the beginning of the year to what they've actually completed at the end of that year. So, they've ruled out tracking devices because of privacy. So I know
that's very unusual. I assumed that they would take the worst course of action. So I assumed they'd either be, we're going to need to put a black box in everyone's car, or B, do what they seem to be doing on every street anyway, putting up some strange random cameras that are tracking everyone's vehicles anyway.
Yes.
I'm not sure what it's like where you are, but we've got some very strange cameras all around our town, like on the outskirts. I don't know what they're for, but they look like vehicle number plate recognition devices. Okay. So I would have thought they would have taken the stupidest approach, which would be one of those. But thankfully, I mean, there was a clip of Rachel Reeves when asked, how are you going to, make sure you get people's odometer reading, and she's like, well, during their MOTs. And then she was asked again, well, you don't have an MOT for the first few years of a vehicle.
Yes,
she was like, oh yeah, you she didn't exactly say you do, but she didn't know what she was talking about with regards to the MOTs, because she was quite adamant that that's when you do it, but you obviously don't have an MOT for your first few years. So they've seemed to at least taken the correct approach of either taking a photo of your odometer, or inputting the appropriate mileage that you usually do, and then it'll be charged on that. I
just think that the scheme's open to kind of abuse, where people will have some software that they can download into the car to knock back the mileage of their vehicles. I saw something on X, I think, where people have kind of posted adverts of devices that you can do that with now. So, people are going to falsify that. I mean, you could end up, back years ago when you had dodgy used car dealers that would wind back the clock on your odometer. And you get in it, it's like a hole in the carpet and a shiny steering wheel. You think, this hasn't done 15,000 miles.
Surely they're harder to trick nowadays, though, with all the tech inside. I mean, how easy is it to trick a Tesla to be able to rewrite the mileage? I'm not sure.
This is where you need someone like Dave on board to kind of talk us through that. But evidently, people will find ways of getting around that, and there is equipment to do that. It's available online. So that's one issue they've got to try and overcome as well. But are we now heading into kind of an era where year 1, year 2, you're going to have like an MOT light, it's a health check of your car, and then they'll check your mileage, and would we have to pay like 54 quid for that as well?
Yeah,
That's like another stealth tax on top of the EVED. So
well, let me take it from the beginning, just for people who don't know so much. So the battery electric vehicles will incur a charge of 3 pence per mile, when whilst plug-in hybrids will pay 1.5 pence per mile. So if you do 10,000 miles in a year in an electric car like mine, I'll be paying a £300 battery electric vehicle tax, if you like, or £150 in a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. The charge will be payable annually alongside the existing vehicle exercise duty, the VED, which is currently £10 for the first year of an EV and £195 thereafter for EVs. So I must admit, there's a bit here. I did think the road tax that we paid, the VED as it's now known, I did think that covered the cost of repairing roads, not fuel duty. But naively, I looked into this earlier, and road tax raises only 7 to 8 billion and isn't ring fenced for roads. No. It goes into general taxation. The real money for roads has always come from fuel duty plus VAT, which totals about 35 billion combined. EVs pay neither, or arguably do on electricity costs when charging, I suppose. So that's the whole that the government is trying to plug. And I do sort of have sympathy for that, because obviously 1 in 4 cars sold now is an electric car, and if obviously at the fuel pumps you're not paying VAT on your fuel anymore, there's going to be a big black hole to fill. So is this the fairer system to try and to go for a pay per mile basis? I mean, there's obviously going to be individual cases where it's not going to seem fair, but on the whole, I think a pay per mile scheme for all vehicles would make more sense, plus a sort of system for the far higher polluting vehicles as well.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one for the government, because because we got the fuel duty on petrol and diesel cost, and then the VAT on that, which is like a tax on a tax as well, because an element of that VAT would be from that fuel duty. If you then start to introduce a pay per mile on internal combustion cars on top of that, then you've got like 3 levels of taxation plus VED or VED tax. So it becomes very, very unpopular. But I think, pay per mile in theory is perhaps the fairest way of doing things. But the collection of it is going to be the challenge for the government. I don't want to get kind of political or anything like that, but it's going to cost the government, if they're going to set up a mechanism in order to reconcile the mileage that people are doing, it's going to cost the government money to do that. We also have a mechanism in place to collect VED through the DVLA. And I think perhaps an adaptation of that might be a more cost-effective solution for the government, but it might not kind of be a direct pay per mile. Like the fuel duty isn't a direct pay per mile, because you're charging people on consumption of fuel, and it's up to them whether they drive with a light foot or a heavy foot.
Yeah, what type of car they choose to buy. Yeah,
exactly. So it's not really a direct, you're paying per mile, but you're consuming that fuel at a slower or faster rate depending on how you drive and what car you've got. So I don't think there is a 100% fair mechanism in place here, but a pure pay per mile. I know that there are other countries that will have like something that reads something in their windscreen, and you have sensors on the roads that will track that and will bill you without kind of photographing your car or whatever. But again, that's costly to set up, and this country hasn't taken that approach, and those countries don't have fuel duty, for example. That's their way of charging motorists for use of the roads. I think it's a really tricky one for the government, because if we go back several years with the internal combustion engine, there was a point where they charged for emissions. Now it's just a flat rate, and the emissions are charged for the first year of taxation when the car is purchased. So like the Range Rover would be like $5,500 in tax for that year, then 195 every year after, and then maybe it might accrue the expensive car supplement as well. But so there are mechanisms that they could adopt that are similar, that they could do through like VED and the DVLA, such as, and I think someone suggested this on X to me, is charge for the car's range. Say your car can do up to 200 miles, it will charge this much. If it do up to 300, it will charge a bit more. And up to 400 miles of range, it will charge more, etc., etc. Because the thought would be that if you buy a car with a long range, you can drive it longer distances. That's one approach. Another approach could be on the vehicle's weight. So, if your car is below 1,500 kilograms, it's this much. If it's below 2,000 kilograms, it's this much. So they could apply it in kind of simple terms that way, rather than going down a more complicated route. Because with the DVLA will have all the data on the car's weight or its capability of range from WLTP figures. So that's a fairly quick and easy win, I think. It might not be 100% fair, but it might make people think, do I need a car with 500 miles of range? And could I get by with a car with 200 miles of range or 300 miles of range, for example?
So well, there is questions here whether people are going to be a bit put off at all by getting an electric car. So
that is the concern, isn't it?
Where should we go? Let me just mention this bit though. So along with the introduction of this, which again is earmarked for 2028, this might just be the first step in judging by listening to the Chancellor the other day when she was talking about this. This could just be the first step in understanding what on earth needs to happen.
Exactly.
But I don't know what the simplest approach might be. But the sort of good news that was also announced with the budget, depending on whether you think this is good news or not, there are offsetting measures which include £1.3 billion in funding to expand the electric car grant until 2030. So that's money off if you buy a new EV if it's under £37,000, I believe. And raising the vehicle exercise duty expensive car supplement threshold to £50,000 from April 2026. So that's, for example, for my car, it's under £50,000. So I won't be paying £425 on top of the normal tax rate of £195 for the next 5 years, is it? So that's a positive. So there's still doing a few positives to get people into electric cars, whilst at the same time trying to fill this sort of massive billions of pounds hole. In fact, I should just mention this as well. So the policy aims to offset declining fuel duty revenue from the shift to electric vehicles, which raised 24 billion in 2024-25, but is projected to fall to 12 billion annually. So that's obviously not good. They need to fill that hole from somewhere. So the expected revenue is 1.1 billion in the year 2028 to 29 fiscal year. So rising to 1.9 billion by 2030. But those numbers don't particularly make sense, do they? Because the 1.1 million from the 3p per mile EV charge covers only 8 to 15% of the £13 billion annual fuel duty gap expected by 2030. So it's a modest, targeted patch to slow the revenue bleed while keeping EV running costs below petrol and diesel. So it's not a full solution, but fiscally sort of sensible as a starting step. So they're still not going to make anywhere near enough money just at charging this. So is this, I guess we'll get to these in a minute, but I've got some slippery slope arguments, some what-about-isms to go to in a minute, which I've got a feeling this could be just the start of it. I mean, now it's 3p, but what happens when it's 10p? What happens when it's more? And you've got the sort of unfairness of people living in the sticks, who have to travel hundreds of miles to go and see relatives every weekend. Well, they're going to be losing out more than the person who lives in a city who just drives locally and doesn't have to drive so far. So there's all sorts of issues, but I do want to sort of try and stay balanced and understand that there isn't a massive black hole that needs to be filled. from electric cars not paying their fair share of road tax. That is sort of true as well, isn't it?
Yes. I think it would be interesting to understand what the attrition of petrol and diesel cars will be. How many do they anticipate would there be a drop in petrol and diesel cars from 2030? Because of course then it's the pure petrol and diesel will stop being sold from 2030, and it's hybrids after that. So how much do they anticipate will their revenue fall? Because I can't see a whole glut of petrol diesel cars coming off the roads anytime soon. I can see more people adopting EVs, but when you consider that EVs have been around in a kind of a mass production form for about 15 years now and gradually growing their sales, it still only accounts for about 5% of the UK fleet. So where do they anticipate the fleet would be for EVs by 2030? So that kind of data we need to dig into, I suppose. And would there be more cars on the road by then, or would the EVs be replacing some of those petrol and diesel cars? So there are kind of questions there that need answering, I think.
Yeah, definitely. That's an interesting point. I mean, my optimism bias would suggest there'll be far more electric vehicles on the roads. That hole is going to get much, much worse at the petrol stations. So yeah, clearly something needs to be done. The charge is projected to reduce EV sales by an average of 24,000 vehicles per year over the next 5 years, net of offsetting incentives. Can't remember where I got that quote from. Who said that? Was it SMMT? Let me just bring this up for you.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a couple of things that the SMMT have said. So the budget brings gains, but EV market made more fragile. So says the SMM chief executive, Mike Halls. And also the other one was SMMT a little while ago. The introduction of a new paper mile EV tax, EVED, would undermine the impact of those supportive EV measures, reducing demand for the very vehicles manufacturers are compelled to sell. This in turn will reduce further the UK's investment appeal, just as it strives to attract it. I think there's more.
It's definitely a carrot and stick approach by the government, isn't it? It's we'll dangle a carrot in front of you and then like whack you with the stick at the same time. So
that's
it's I think the messaging needs to improve, I think, from the government, especially around costs. If they want people to adopt EVs, they need to be very transparent that EVs will always be the cheaper option to own, and that messaging hasn't come across. So I've seen on X a lot of people saying, I'm giving up on my EV, I'm going to sell it and get a petrol car next. Whether that's just people being flippant,
find that hard to believe.
Of course, I'm going to keep an eye on the SMMT data as they publish it every month to see whether there is a slowdown in EV uptake. But also don't forget, a lot of the EVs are being sold to fleets as well, because the running costs of electric cars are still significantly cheaper. So, there'll be an element of it where that will carry on with the fleet sales. And then, of course, one of the other points in the budget was that there's going to be no change to the salary sacrifice schemes for workplaces, the way you can lease an EV through your payroll.
Yeah.
So that's separate from the pensions that we're talking about. So there's no change with that. That's a really good incentive still, and it's proven where I work. It's proven very, very popular. And if with those salary sacrifice schemes, they're generally all inclusive. So they include your road taxes, they include tyres, they include servicing, maintenance. All of that is all included in one price that's taken out of your salary, and that reduces your tax and NI liability. So it becomes a very cost-effective way. So I think there's still like glimmers of hope in that. I think where it hits people hard is those that are potentially going to purchase an electric car and are now doubting whether they should do that.
More confusion, yeah.
So I think the messaging needs to improve from the government to say that an EV will always be cheaper and will always ensure that an EV will be a cheaper option to own. And of course, along with that, they need to tackle the rapid charging infrastructure and the costs associated to that for the customers pay.
For a start, lowering the VAT on public charging, so it's the same for people's homes as well. That would be good, but that would be not helping towards filling that black hole. So before we get to the comment section, which I have been noticing that we've got some comments to go through, I'm just going to say quickly, speaking of good messaging and getting rid of the comments again, this wonderful bunch of people are supporting my YouTube journey after 3 years of being on YouTube. These guys pay a small amount of money every month for my Patreon extra videos that I do, and meetups and Q&As and stuff. So there's a whole extra sort of YouTube channel, if you like, over on my Patreon page at patreon.com/teslajigsaw. I give you loads of perks, and then these lovely people give me a little bit of money every month and literally keep me going. Patreon actually pays more money now than YouTube in a month. That's happened a few times now. So thank you very much. And if it's good enough for Elon Musk, it's good enough for you. I mean, look, he joined the other day, Graham. What do you think of that?
Oh, well. Why don't I see him as one of your top members then?
Blown away. He's only free. I mean, I guess he's.
Oh, right. So he's obviously feeling the pinch, isn't he?
He must be. Yeah, I mean, you don't get to be the world's wealthiest man, I suppose, do you, by giving away stuff or paying for things. No, maybe it's him. Well, who knows? But please feel free to come on over there and join us. It's a great little community of people, isn't it, Graham? You're there for a start. Yeah, it's great. But Zach and Jesse are there as well. That's really cool.
Yeah. And Ryan?
Well, he was. He left again. He was there temporarily, and then he left. But maybe he'll come back.
We've got some extra content on there from Ryan and Zach and Jesse, and
we did.
Yeah. So it's worth it for all of that.
Well, it's great. It's you guys in the Patreon community that asked those extra questions for me to ask Ryan Cowan recently of Ryan's Model Y fame. And so other people as well have got an interview on there with Farzad with extra questions and stuff. So there's loads of stuff to rummage through. So please, if you're feeling generous, come over there and support me. It's really means the world to little content creators like me who are trying to get going. I'm still at 16,000 subscribers on YouTube. Long way to go before I can make this, a full-time living. So thanks. I'll stop babbling and get back to this. So what about these what-about-isms then? A photo of an odometer. I can't say it today. Odometer. It'll hopefully suffice, won't it, for checking your mileage every year. Assuming that you can't, clock it, which would be too difficult for me to do, no doubt. But is this a slippery slope way down to sort of a more ULEZ camera approach, or we need to put some extra cameras up in all these streets, and we're going to have to put a mandatory tracker in your car just to make sure. It's going to be much easier if we put a tracker in your car, so you don't have to fiddle around on an MOT day. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I'm suspicious.
What's the point of adding in cost to try and recover that cost? You may as well just do it as inexpensively as you can through the current VED system and try and choose another mechanism. I hope that between now and 2028 that they're going to consult with the industry, the manufacturers, people like Mike Hawes from SMMT and Edmund King from AA, and all of those kind of big names in the industry. And I really, really hope that they'll talk to them and listen to them and come up with a much more viable solution than currently what the government want to do, but have no idea how they're going to do it yet.
Yeah.
So and it could be like if they come up with a very inexpensive solution, it could be that the cost will come down a little bit for the owners of the cars. But
we can dream, can't we, Graham? When did costs ever come down? But maybe.
Optimistic.
Yes, indeed. But I was thinking about people who drive abroad. I mean, if you go on holiday and you do a lot of miles. I guess if you did work miles and you drove abroad, clocking up the miles, then who cares? It's a company car. You probably get all that paid for anyway. But if it's holidays or you're visiting relatives and you go to the south of Spain, a couple of times a year or something, you'd still have to pay that. and it would go to the British coffers and supposedly fix the roads and stuff, but you're not there. I mean,
you'd be paying tolls abroad to use their roads, and then you'll be paying tax from the UK on using their roads. So that doesn't make sense. That kind of and I assume that the industry will bring up all of these valid points as well. How do you accommodate for that? And the worst thing that they'd do is try and put in mechanisms to kind of remove that mileage if you're driving on the continent. But again, it's just adding more cost and complexity. You want a really simple solution to this. And as an EV driver, I've long advocated for paying my way on the roads, and we did have free road tax for a long time. Yeah, it was very nice we didn't have to pay it, but there's always this kind of like nag at the back of my mind that I should be paying something because we're using the roads. And that itself has caused some animosity as well with non-electric car drivers. I get quite my fair share of abuse on X for being an EV advocate, and
you do. You sent me a hilarious one earlier. I know these people don't know that we just share it between us and we all just laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you're going to listen and abuse it, just make it funny, because
But some of them have, within their horrible remarks, have got a valid comment. And,
the only ones that hurt me are the ones that are critiques that I already know. It's like if you don't think I'm already my harshest critic, I'm sorry. Yeah, you have no idea. Right, we've got lots of little comments here. If anyone does have any questions for us, then please write away in the side bit, and I can bring them up. I don't know, where should we start? Tesla should. I'll put it up at the same time. Oh, yeah. Tesla should offer year-end discounts on Model Y colour choices to keep the costs under £50,000. Yes, I suppose so. Should make FSD as a standard, okay, or at least give it away for free for a year or two so that people can experience it and the word spreads. I do agree on this one. I think Tesla should most definitely include a free trial of FSD.
Yeah. I think with the expensive car supplement now, no one's going to buy it at purchase, or no one's going to purchase FSD when they buy the car because it's going to push them over. So they'll buy the car and then perhaps, do FSD next, whenever it comes in the UK, who knows? But that's kind of how I think about it. So why don't they just remove the cost of that from their website at the point of purchase? Because it'll just push it over that expensive car supplement.
Yeah.
But someone had a valid point there about the paint options as well. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, Doug is also here. Doug, I thought you were fixing your garage. Come on, get painting. It should have a great effect on Q4 sales too. What, the FSD take rates, or?
I think it'll get people excited, won't it?
I see. Just the information's out there, isn't it?
Hopefully it's coming.
How much better will hardware 5 be? Well, as someone who's only tried version 12, and Graham, you've not actually tried FSD yet. I mean, we are totally in the dark, really. All we're doing is watching other people's experience of it. Can I just say a quick shout out to the absolute main man of Tesla, Bisoya Merritt, who's just posted this. My first drive in the snow on Tesla FSD version 14.2.1 on rural roads in New Hampshire. FSD did great and was extra cautious because of the unplowed roads. Head on over to X to watch this video that is just posted. But I mean, good grief. Just testing it in some heavy snow.
My mind just keeps going when I see these videos because it's mind blowing.
It is,
and the one that you shared earlier on X with Zach and Jesse.
This was Jesse's Cybertruck on version 14.2, which they just received just a few days ago, which they've been out testing, and they had their mind was blown. They said it was a flawless drive. What's so interesting about that is they are so genuine, because when Zach and Jesse were out testing version 11. Jesse had a horrible time. They actually put a heart rate monitor on just to see how terrible it was. It's really bad. I mean, for some people, version 11 worked okay, and for others it was terrible. Then 12 came out, that was a lot better. But version 14, there's it certainly seems to be pretty mind blowing for those who are sort of in the community and witnessing it. And version 14.3. I can't quite remember how Elon put it, but it's like the final piece of the jigsaw or something. Like the Tesla jigsaw is saying something to me.
That is Elon that's subscribed to you.
Depends how big the jigsaw pieces are, though. I suppose it could be millions of small ones. Hey, look, I've had a super thanks, $20. Wow! Oh, that's so cool. Is that my first super thanks on a live? Thank you so much. How do I share it? As in, I can't share it with anyone, can I? Oh. Can I?
There's a question.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Sweet. Oh, Sean West, thank you so much. If Robotaxi arrives in EU by 2028, I wonder if this would add to the tendency to simply not buy a car at all. Well, this is where everything's heading. Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously spending far too much of my time in my brain in the future, and it's just my constant shock that we're not there. But this is, of course, where we're heading. Where this is not just robo-taxis and people being able to drive their cars autonomously. This leads to a place where you can buy a car, a cyber cab, and it will be your autonomous transportation. You won't need a car if you don't want one. And then it's a fraction of a cost to run. It's safer than ever. You can send it out as a robo-taxi. This, the change that's coming from Tesla and FSD I'm so excited. I can barely find the words sometimes to say what's coming, but I either arrogantly feel I can see the future, or I've been paying such close attention to Tesla that I just know it's coming at this point. It's one of the two.
If you think about it, right, when was Robotaxi launched? It was like July, was it? I can't remember exactly. And how quickly
it was April. Was it? Oh, I can't remember either. But yeah, how quickly that's gone.
Year. It was this year, sometime in the middle, roughly. But just think how far they've expanded. I don't know. I've never been to the States, so I can't picture how big the place is. But the whole Bay Area in California is supposed to be super massive, and they've just expanded there so quickly. And they're trying to catch up and put more robo taxis out on the streets. But it's just expanding every single month. There's more and more expansion of robotaxi, and it's going to new cities as well. And if you think, like Sean just pointed out there, in the EU by 2028, if FSD is coming into the EU and UK next year, and then how long after that will we get the proper robotaxi trials? By 2028, the rate of expansion that Tesla's currently going through in the US or North America, by 2028, are we going to see a prevalent robo-taxi network around the UK and the EU?
Well, I can't see why not. If we've got an Autonomous Vehicle Act that's coming into place in 2026, then these things should be available as robo-taxis to people in the UK, even if we've not got access to unsupervised FSD. I think they're sort of two different things, aren't they? But yeah, I really think there's no other word, exponential growth of Tesla's robo-taxis and autonomy. I mean, you can see how quickly things have happened this year. No one was expecting it in Australia and New Zealand just to be available like that. No. And then you've got someone in Australia who's driven around Australia multiple times on FSD already, proving that the system works. Sawyer Merritt, everyone else sharing these videos all the time. I think when the broader market suddenly realizes that this is, the broader population rather, realizes that this is available. Then again, doubt creeps in when I understand that, I would have thought in the past 10 years, the explosion of electric vehicle owners who can save such a lot of money by turning to an EV and charging at home, etc. I thought that would have been such a no-brainer for people to save thousands a year. They would have leapt on it. But we also know from experience, people buy cars without any thought to the costs or the running costs or anything. They don't necessarily look at the economics of buying a vehicle, do they? They just make purchases based on its color sometimes.
Or its shape. If it looks good, they'll buy it. And an example of one of my friends who bought BMW M3, ran it as a company car, and soon got quite tired driving it because it was a difficult car to drive, and then ended up getting a Tesla Model 3 Performance, and he still has it 3 years later. So people do make kind of emotional decisions with cars. Some people just want a car and want it to go as inexpensively, as cheaply as possible to run, or people might just want something familiar. I think what we're actually witnessing, though, since 2020 especially, is there has been a kind of a boom in electric car uptake, and the more people that buy electric cars will invariably, like us, talk about them and how good they are and how much they're saving money, and more people will want to adopt them. But it will get to the point where people are going, actually, I just prefer the smoothness of an electric car. I don't care what it costs me to run. I just prefer how it drives. And you will get to that point. And I've watched Tony Sieber from Rethink X, who is a kind of analyst that looks at market disruptions, and he's been spot on with predicting everything. So I don't think there is anything to be concerned about the uptake of EVs. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and not just EVs with Tony Sieber, though, is it? Sustainable energy and everything. He's been talking about this whole planet can be run on sustainable energy for a long time.
Yes,
very worth checking out. So
and it definitely aligns with Tesla's strategy as well. So there's a good alignment there between Tony Sieber and what Tesla are doing. It's definitely worth checking out Tony Sieber's videos and some of his TED Talks and things, because it is mind-blowing.
Yeah, definitely. A few more comments here. I agree, Will. I'm always telling friends and colleagues about what's coming, and they think I'm mad. Mistaken. Yep. Well, I feel you. That's exactly why I started the YouTube channel, because I was talking to friends and family about all this. They were just like, "Could you shut up now?"
Yeah.
So hence I'm here, dear audience. Hello. What else we've got? Doug is still there. I wish Tesla were more transparent with Robotaxi data. How many cars operate in the Bay Area? How many fares per week, etc. Yeah, it would be nice to see more data. What has changed? There was the suggestion from Elon, a bit optimistically, a few months ago, that Tesla Robotaxis would be providing the service to half of the population of America by the end of this year. That has been sort of quietly dismissed. I think they're aiming more. I wish I remember the numbers. I looked into this earlier. Is it they're aiming for 1,000 robotaxis in operation by the end of the year now instead? Something like that. But clearly each area is growing. It's in a lot more states now than it was before. So perhaps not quite happening as quick as he hoped.
But I think with Elon Musk is he likes to set stretched targets, doesn't he, and work really hard to achieve that. So if you're to set a reasonably achievable target, invariably you'll get there slower. If you set a stretch target, you'll probably go way past that achievable target and make a lot of progress. So I think
makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Set a stretch target and try and aim high, which is exactly what they've done.
What do you think of this? If Hardware 4 is capable of all this, why are so many upgrades already in the pipeline? What is Elon planning in the future to need all this AI power? This is where we need Dave, really, isn't it? I mean, inference compute, it would be a suggestion. If you've got a far more powerful computer on everyone's Tesla, you can use that. Use that compute power to do other operations in terms of AI. I mean, have you seen the idea of the? It's not an idea now; it's going to be reality. Where you've got SpaceX launching AI satellites, solar-powered AI satellites into space, and they'll be doing the AI compute, the heavy compute in space, 24/7 from solar panels. I made a video about it. Hardly anyone watched it because it was a bit complicated.
There's no coincidence with the companies he's created. There's overlap.
Yes. That's synergy. There's that word.
Yeah, exactly.
There's synergy of all the companies. It's the same way that the Starship is made out of the same material as a Cybertruck. I mean, beautiful. Right. What else we got? The transition is as fast as they can ramp up production. Tesla as proof. Yeah. What else we got? You need to keep improving to keep in front of the competition. Yeah, I mean, this is Tesla are so good at disrupting themselves, aren't they? Before anyone has a chance to disrupt them, they disrupt themselves. I mean, for Tesla to get to the point, and I think they will get here very awkwardly, where they won't be selling cars with steering wheels. Just imagine the disruption and the balls on the company to do something like that.
I think this comes back to that AI4 comment that someone else made, wasn't it? And looking ahead at AI5, and he's already thinking about AI6.
Oh yeah,
and, you know,
and making deals with manufacturers now for that chip.
Exactly,
so far ahead.
It's crazy. So who knows what's coming with that? But it'd be interesting because it'd been discussed for a long time when Robotaxi arrives, and you could purchase FSD in your car, hardware for car now, and send it out to earn you money whilst it's not being used. Well, there's another mechanism of earning money whilst it's not being used, which you mentioned a few minutes ago, with using the kind of chips in the car for that kind of AI compute.
Well, again, I didn't get to the end of this one, did I? Developing the AI chip will probably be the best investment because it can be used in multiple products.
Yes.
Of course, we're talking about Optimus here as well. Yeah. And the endless development of AI chips as well. It's just fascinating. There's so much exciting to come. I mean, there's this as well. Grok, onboard assistant. We're all waiting patiently for this, aren't we?
Can't wait
but I just hope it's not anything like a Siri or Alexa, because if it is, I'll be throwing my Tesla out of the window as well as my Siri. Just someone get it right. Come on. It's game over for steering wheel manufacturers. It will be at some point. I mean, I might be a bit optimistic on my timelines as well, but I can see that's the future. What have we got? There has never been a more accurate statement than Elon plays chess while everyone plays checkers. Yes, 4D chess while everyone plays checkers. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And last comment, Belgium saying hello. Adio Avond. I can speak Belgium. Right. Graham, thanks so much for joining me. Thank you, everybody who's been in the comments section. Have you got anything else to say before we end it? Any other subject you want to dive into? Feel free.
No, I'm an FSD virgin, so I'm really looking forward to keeping my fingers crossed that it arrives in the UK at some point and I can give it a go, because I'm super excited about that. I think it will blow my mind, I don't know how I'll mentally cope with that. Watching Zach and Jesse's video, it's mind-blowing how kind of human it felt.
Did you see where it went back on itself to make a left turn? There was a queue of traffic and it had to drive the wrong way for a little bit and then scoot round. But because it's got four-wheel steering, it just sort of snuck round, and they're like, "Whoa!" And I was so excited to watch. It's thinking like a human at that point.
I think Zach was saying that's how I'd drive. That every kind of like mind-blowing maneuver it made, it was like, "Oh, that's how I'd drive it. That's how I drive it." And I think they put it in. What was the mode they put FSD in? It was like a hurry.
Mad Max mode.
Was it Mad Max? Okay,
So hurry or Mad Max. There's 5 different speed modes you can put FSD in. I can't remember the names of them all, but they had it on hurry, I think, at the time, and then Mad Max is one above that, I think.
I mean, but it kind of from looking at it, it just feels like a super confident, very safe driver at the wheel, doesn't it? That's kind of how it comes across with these videos, and especially with like Sawyer's as well. It just comes across as being human-like, which I think is like quite eerie, because you've got a machine that's acting like a human driver, and I think this is like a preview for what Optimus would be like.
Oh, excuse me, made a noise. I was just going to play this while we're just chatting. Oh no, this one, because this is it actually just driving away, isn't it? There we go.
Your car is driving like a human. What's Optimus going to be like?
It's going to be. We should, Well, we need to make an entire episode on Optimus. Every time I just think of the exciting news today is these FSD demo drives in Europe and the Middle East. Who knows what tomorrow is? The excitement for the future, thanks to this one company, it's unbearable at times. I think without Tesla doing this, who else was going to do all this? I mean, who was going to disrupt the entire automotive industry like this, or start working on, sustainable abundance for the planet? I mean, I know I rant about this quite a lot, but I'm genuinely just in absolute awe of this company and what they're doing, and my endless frustration with people that just don't see the good that's coming from it.
I just think the pace of change is phenomenal as well, and that's not an easy word, I can say, but I just think that this is all unraveling in real time, and this is, like I said earlier, this is like me watching Minority Report 20 years ago, 25 years ago now, and thinking, I wonder whether the future would be like that. And here we are, these cars, Minority Report, I think it was Lexus that were driving themselves out the factory, and then autonomously driving themselves out the factory and then off to a destination. And this is exactly what Tesla's doing now. Lexus isn't doing that, but Tesla is.
Yeah.
And I think my life is more exciting for seeing these kind of developments and for seeing glimpses into the future, and knowing that future is coming and we don't have to wait that long for it. I think that's really exciting.
It is, absolutely. Let's end with this. To think that we are actually at this point with car automation is so crazy. It's unbelievable. The stuff of the films of my childhood, and most people are unaware of how far we have come. Or that it even exists. Most people have no idea this exists. Loads of people don't even know what a Tesla is, let alone it's capable of this. So, there you go. Let's end on a big high after talking about tax. So, I really, thank you everyone for joining me here. It's been really cool. To the 56 live people watching us, Graham. Woohoo!
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Look, we'll end on 56 minutes as well. How's that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If you would be so kind, pop across to Patreon. And you'll see lots more interesting stuff over there. I'm trying to work out what to do. I'm trying to remove you, Graham. No, I don't want to. No, I want to get this full screen. How do I do it? That's the one? Oh, put it in.
It's close.
All right. I'll do my ending from here when you can see me. I'm Will. This is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thank you, patrons. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. I'll go press end. Hang on.
Okay.